this is Gilbert Gottfried, and I'm here with my co-host Frank Santopadre, and this is Gilbert and Frank's Amazing Colossal Obsessions, and we're once again recording at Nutmeg with our engineer Frank Verderosa, and our return guest is actor Richard Kind.
Colossal Obsessions.
You missed my credits last time. I'm ready.
Now, Richard is
but everybody's just going, oh, God, him. What the hell? I'm your Tony Randall.
That's fine. We needed one.
It's like, we got nothing.
Yeah.
And I happen to be here recording, and they go, do a podcast with us. All right.
I heard
What a
that
non-pa organization this place
We'd
I
be
heard
thrilled if
that
you'd be our Tony Randall.
Tony Randall would show up every night at David Letterman's show with carrying his suit neatly pressed.
Just in case?
And they go,
Never knew
okay,
that.
Tony, drop in.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
Jewish fella, Lenny Rosenberg.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. I believe from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Or Philly.
had a child like at age 70, I don't know
Some
what.
crazy thing.
And I used to say, you should not have a child at that age because when you get that old, you can't throw a football or a softball with your son. And then I said, although I can never imagine Tony Randall ever throwing a softball
taking him to La
or a
Boheme.
football with his kid,
And
even at the height of his athletic prowess.
one time they had him on to read the top 10 reasons why it's good to have a kid when you're 75.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I remember one of them was, who cares if the kid cries? I can't hear a damn thing.
Oh, God.
I got to tell you something.
Yes.
I have a documentary coming out about me called Gilbert
Yes.
that this filmmaker, Neil Berkeley,
You'll
made.
love it, Rich.
I can't wait. Yeah.
And you were nice enough to take part in a documentary.
I was very nice to do that. Did you ever? Did I say? One of the questions, and I don't know whether it's in the movie. Is it in the movie?
I don't know. You have to tell me what it is.
I think they said, Gilbert has been called the comedian's comedian.
They used to call him that in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they use that? My answer in the thing.
Which was?
Well, I said he's the opposite of the comedian's comedian. It doesn't deny how great a comedian he is, but he's doing stuff that he did 20 years ago. A comedian's comedian works and works and tries it out
Yes.
and tests and everything.
Yes.
I go, he's the furthest thing. Look at up there and go,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm getting
The
paid? Okay, I'll see you.
Same Joyce DeWitt jokes that
Right,
I
yes.
saw him doing in
And
1976.
it doesn't deny actually how brilliant you were and are now. And
Yep.
I know that you still write stuff and you still do new stuff. But like, do you tour? Do you test it out? Is this going to work? Maybe I need a word here. I don't think that you do that for the life of you.
That I used to. I
Did
used
you?
to. I used to, like, I'd have bits that worked, and people would say, why don't you do those bits anymore? And I said, because they work.
Oh, well,
I
that's
just-
good. Oh,
yeah.
so then you were
Yeah.
the comedian's comedian.
Yes.
I know you now as the laziest son of a bitch
yeah.
on the face of the earth.
Yeah, it's like,
We keep
lady,
saying
hey, how many of you in the audience watch Bonanza?
We keep saying that on the show. I'll reminisce and say, oh, you used to do this Norman Feld bit. Still do it.
Yeah.
Still in there.
Oh, gosh, it's so funny.
Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what. So I gave what I considered was a negative answer, and the minute I was finished, I went, "Oh, guys, this is a documentary honoring Gilbert," and I just slammed them. But it's not. It had nothing to do with how great you are. It's just.
I don't know if that's in there, but he should have left it in.
Yes.
Yes, because it's accurate.
And I was much more eloquent in answering.
Yes.
Here, it's like, I'm sort of walking on eggshells because you're here in the room.
And you said you were going to come on. The reason for coming on the show today is to tell us who the chicken hawk was. that
never
you
gonna
mentioned
He's not gonna.
the last time you were on the show.
The chicken hawk.
Yeah, there was a famous Hollywood chicken hawk.
I'll tell you, Richard.
Can't do it.
It's
I can't.
generated a lot of mail.
I can't do it. I can't do
We'll
it.
keep the mystery. The mystery will go
And the
on.
man who told me, who was the head of the SWAT team, is gone as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I was friends with the head. The founder, the first chief of the first SWAT team in the world. It was in Los Angeles. Best friends with Daryl Gates. This guy named Jeff Rogers, great guy, and he was a bodybuilder, and he was a tough guy. Single all his life. Joined the country club that he played at because he didn't like playing. This is terrible. With Asians at the public courses. No, but he didn't like the slow play. It's not. It wasn't that. Then he felt that the Asians were slow, and he could never talk to them.
I
He
see.
wanted to talk to people,
I see.
and they
Of
would
course.
never talk. This could edit it out.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine.
God.
He loves this stuff.
But he was a great guy. And his father was a big band leader and a singer. And Jeff was a huge opera buff. Loved the Dodgers, loved old cars, a policeman, a real guy's guy. Loved opera.
How about that?
And he would watch Lonesome Dove once a year and read
That's
Lonesome Dove once a
like
year.
Larry
Well,
McMurtry.
It
We
was-
had on the show James Caron.
I love James Conner.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
best.
I know him.
The best guy.
He's
And
great.
Best guy in the world.
He's the one who told us that Moe of the Three Stooges
Yeah.
was a big Shakespearean fan.
Oh, I remember hearing that. Yes.
Yeah,
I
he would
remember
love
hearing that.
watching Shakespearean
That kills me.
productions.
That
Is
that's
so
astounding.
incongruous.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that
how
too.
about Mel Brooks? Mel Brooks is really the well-read guy. When you look at the title, at one of the characters' names in the producers is Leo Bloom.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
yes.
right.
From Ulysses.
He was a reader, a real smart reader, and it's actually one thing that he doesn't wear on his sleeve is how smart he is and learned. He produced Elephant Man and
Oh, absolutely.
and that play with Anthony Hopkins and Anne Bancroft, but.
Was that 84
about
Charing
C.S.
Cross
Lewis.
Road?
Yes, that's it.
Very good.
I mean, a real learned guy, but he does not wear that on his sleeve.
Yeah. Two good films. That one and The Elephant Man.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, both very good.
yeah.
Both very good. So you want to shame us for not being able to land Mel Brooks, which you were
Yes.
doing outside?
Yes, it's
Put it on
terrible.
him. He's been told. He has the phone number.
Can I say it?
Sure.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
want to rush
Mel
it.
says that he knows that he knows Gilbert, loves Gilbert.
Well, this comes from Norman Steinberg,
Oh, okay.
Mel's friend and the writer of
all he
Blazing
has to do
Saddles.
is Gilbert
Okay,
has
can you
to
say
call.
that again? Mel Brooks knows Gilbert, loves Gilbert.
Knows Gilbert, knows of you, maybe?
He's a fan. We were
Yeah.
told.
He's a fan and loves you, and he says, all you have to do is call me. I want Gilbert to call and ask, and I, honest to God,
You know,
for
Carl's-
the sake of everybody who's listening,
Yeah,
call him.
Carl's been on, and Mel's probably asking every night at dinner, "What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah.
Why did you have?
Why doesn't he call
You had
me?
me. You had you. You had Norman, but he doesn't call me.
It's like the girl who's just opens her legs, and you go in. Oh, it's all the wrong. You remember that line? All the wrong signals. Maybe from Play It Again, Sam.
Yes. Wow. I haven't seen
Yeah,
that
wow.
in many years.
Remember that line?
Wow. Speaking of
Yeah.
Tony Roberts.
Wow. Okay. Anyway,
Oh, and thank you
I
for
know the
thank you
reference,
for
but
Tony
I'm not-
Roberts again. By the way,
Yeah, he's the
Richard
greatest
helped
guy.
us book Tony, and he was
No, it's
turned out to
crazy.
be one of our better
And I told
guests.
you, he gave me the best advice ever because I took over a role that he was doing on Broadway, and he gave me the instructions for what what the secret of it is, and I actually use it for all acting. He said, "Love your wife. The more that you love that character, because I played her husband, the more the audience will love her and will love you."
How about
and
that?
I thought that was great. And she's a sort of a heinous type of character, like a very obnoxious Upper West Side woman. It's a horrible, horrible character. But I loved her, and I thought that was the most brilliant direction.
You know what's funny? It's like when I think of like the old show Roseanne,
right?
and I think of how valuable John Good.
Absolutely. Smart
That's
casting.
absolutely true.
Yes.
Yes.
Aside from being a fine actor, you would watch him and go, "Wow, he loves this woman."
He
Well, he's
loves
the glue
her,
of
I
that
guess.
show.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That I've never thought of that, but yes. But then I have thought I always said Helen Hunt made Paul Reiser handsome. If Helen Hunt loves this guy,
That's interesting.
well, here's a beautiful woman. He loves. As a matter of fact, Darren makes you absolutely gorgeous.
Tyrone Power. You guys want to talk a little bit about time travel movies, time travel television? And I only say because I happen to know Richard's a fan of the Time Tunnel. But also, we have a Producer of the Month episode here. One of our listeners, Christopher Kenny, said, why don't you guys do a time travel movie? You've talked about them on the show, or time travel episode. You've talked about them on the show. You've talked about lots of Twilight Zones.
Yeah.
And we have Richard here, who's also a TV and movie buff. I thought we'd kick that around for a few minutes.
Like the first one, just to get it out of the way, and it is a great, fun movie.
Which one?
And I think is that Rod Taylor?
I was going to ask you, I've never seen the original Time
Yeah.
Machine.
You haven't?
Shame on me.
Oh, it's quite
Oh,
good.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good.
From
And Yvette
19
Mimieux was
Gorgeous.
beautiful. Oh, my God.
And
An early fantasy.
Really? Yvette Mimieux.
Because I saw the Time Machine at Camp Sunapee.
Okay.
That's the first time I saw it on the big sheet that acted as a screen, and that's where I first saw it.
and of course, once again, mental block. The guy from Mr. Ed.
Alan Young.
Alan Young.
Right.
Yes.
That's
who
right.
then later became Scrooge McDuck.
Correct.
Yes.
Very good.
And he's in there, and he's doing a Scottish accent.
Right. I know.
But terrific movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
yeah.
loads
It is.
of
George
fun.
Pell.
It is.
Yeah.
And to see it today and know that back then it was so groundbreaking and George Pal and all that and it's dreadful.
And
the special effects are dreadful.
it's so much
bet.
fun when you're watching him and you see in fast motion buildings getting built and then torn down and then built
I
up
remember
again.
That too. Yes, almost like it was a flip book or
Yes.
something. Yeah, that's right. But that brings me to my favorite, because although I love time travel, it's really tough to do and really make it.
Yeah, you said that on the phone when
It
we were
really
talking.
is,
You don't
because-
think most time travel films are successful because it's hard
because
to.
you're always asking questions and how can you go back and how is today
Right.
It was and
Well,
how
you have
can
to
go
buy
back.
in. You really have to
You-
buy.
Of course you do, and I buy into everything. But the great one, and answers all those questions, is it Time After Time? Not Time After Time.
The one with Malcolm McDowell.
The Malcolm
Oh,
McDowell
yes.
Warner one.
Oh, we love that.
It's
And
the best.
Mary Steenburgen.
We
Yeah.
love that one.
Yeah,
We've
it's
talked
the
about it on this show.
Best of the time travels.
Yeah,
and it
Nicholas
answers
Meyer.
all the questions.
Yeah.
Even when with H.G. Wells, because she goes back into time
Yep.
and becomes the inspiration for his work.
It's a perfect movie.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And that was is that Michael Crichton?
Nicholas Meyer, who was the
Nicholas Meyer,
yeah,
you're correct.
who wrote the 7% solution.
They
7%
they
solution.
brought up something interesting in that website Cracked,
Yeah.
where they said one thing they ignore in these time travel movies is if you go in your time machine, how do you know you're going to land in a big open space? Maybe they put a building up over there.
Absolutely.
And
Interesting.
you crash right into
and you
this
could
building.
be in between bricks.
Yes.
Yes, you could.
Yeah.
be. Absolutely.
Never happened on the time tunnel in all those episodes.
No.
They always landed on a street.
Who was the head of the time tunnel travel thing?
Oh, it was.
Come on, you got the name. Oh, I asked this and you got it wrong, and you should know
No,
it
you
now.
asked me. You
I
asked. What
did.
was Lee Merriweather was on there?
And you know my Lee Merriweather.
You asked me. No, the one I got wrong was you asked me.
It's who it is. This is it, I think.
Well, the
The guy. He was also
Whit
in
Bissell.
Whit Bissell.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
They
Yes.
stood still. He was
Yeah.
the head. And James Darren.
James Darren.
But who was the other guy?
Robert Colbert.
You know, I not only if
C-O-
you gave me three choices, I would
LBERT.
never know,
He's
but
still
I-
around.
I
So's
ran
James
into
Darren.
James
So's James
Darren.
Darren.
James
We
Darren,
hung out
yeah.
with James Darren at Chiller.
Yes.
Yes, and he said he'd do the show.
Yes.
So we have to follow up with James Darren. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lee Merriweather.
She did the show.
We had her.
Yeah.
But she was on Time
Along-
Tunnel.
Right, along with Julie Newmar.
Right.
Yeah. One is sane and one is
I tell you what, speaking of Julie Newmar, I was doing time travel research, and she turned up in a Twilight Zone time travel episode
Really?
with Albert Salmi called Of Late I Think of Cliffordville.
Wait, is this the one where he wants to like get rich all over again.
Yes, and she played the devil. She played a female version of
Okay.
Mephistopheles.
Oh, that's what I
Miss
remember.
Miss Devlin.
I remember her. Yes.
Yes.
Playing
Here's
the devil.
what's wrong with that episode.
Okay.
And this is always what cracks me up about anything making a deal with the devil.
Exactly.
Because when you make a deal with the devil, he does grant your wish, but with an evil twist on it. You know, so it'll be like...
Well, it's not an evil twist. The evil things happen
Yes.
once you get it.
Or they'll do something like you'll go, I want to be famous. And then you'll be famous because you'll die in a plane crash.
Or you're a killer
Oh, I
about to go to the electric
Yes,
chair.
yes.
Right, there's those.
Right,
But what
right.
they do in a lot of those is the wish, the way they phrase the wish is so fucking obvious and stupid.
Yes.
Where they'll go, I want to be rich. Axe through the head rich, you know, and it's like...
Is that an expression? Axe through the head rich?
I want every beautiful girl in the world.
Oh, God.
I speak through my eye, beautiful girl. So in that, he says, I want to go back in time, but I want to look just like I did when I was 20.
That's the one.
And you go, well, wait a minute.
You didn't look good. Albert Salmi never looked
Yeah.
good.
he never did.
Couldn't have at 20.
And you going, he says that a few times. I have to look like I did back then. And I think, well, no, you'd want to be 20 again.
Sure.
Yeah, that's not you want to look like it, so you'd feel like you're 90, but look like
So
you're
she got
20.
him again on the semantics.
Oh,
yes,
yes.
she
yes.
tripped him up.
It's
And
semantics.
I heard he, Salmi,
What?
wound up killing himself.
I believe he did.
Yeah,
He did.
I believe he did.
yeah.
Yeah.
He commits suicide.
Yeah,
Wow. He was a great actor.
He
sure
was.
was.
I think he was like an actor's studio guy or something like that. He
could have been.
Yeah.
He
was
could have been.
Great.
Since we're talking about Twilight Zone time travel ones, here's one. Once Upon a Time with Buster Keaton.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
that's a
and
great
who
one.
was that other actor?
Well, Jesse White's in it, and
Yeah.
the guy you're thinking of is Stanley Adams.
That's that big guy
Yes,
with the
yes.
big voice like that.
Yes.
I don't know. Jesse White.
Yeah,
And
Jesse
what
White.
was so
He puts
funny,
on a helmet
yes,
to travel through time.
what was so funny about that is the beginning of it, they make like a silent movie.
Yep.
The beginning of that
Oh,
Twilight Zone.
wow.
Yep.
And then when he goes into modern times, then you hear them talk.
How many Twilight Zones did Buster Keaton do?
I think just
I
that.
think just the
Just
one.
the one?
Yeah. I did find that there were 12 different time travel stories in
Really?
the original Twilight Zone. Do you know this one? Here's another one with Albert Salmi.
Wow.
Russell Johnson.
I know. Okay.
This is called
Oh, is this the one with the guy who warns about Lincoln's assassination?
No, I was saving that
I
one.
love that one.
That one's called Back There.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where he's the college professor.
Yes.
Right.
And he goes back, and the guy drugs him
Yeah.
at the bar. The one guy that he's telling it to, that he's
Oh.
telling that this is, I come from the future, and he's
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
then he finds out that the guy that drugged him, he looks at the handkerchief that the guy gave him, and it says JWB embroidered on the handkerchief.
Yeah.
Serling himself wrote that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But how many of them are based on
True stories.
Yeah, true stories. How many are based on some other
Source material?
Yes,
I don't know.
versus
That's
an
a good
original,
question.
An original story.
There's one called Execution with Albert Salmi and Russell Johnson, and this is where the guy, the cowboy in 1855, he's about to be hanged. He's on the gallows. Do you know about this one?
Oh, yeah.
And the scientist brings him into the future. Russell Johnson brings him into the future,
I don't remember.
and he
this
kills
one.
the scientist. And then a thief breaks in and kills the killer.
Oh, wow.
And that guy stumbles into the time machine, and he winds up back in the noose.
Yeah.
Do you remember this one with Albert
No,
Salmi?
not at all.
Okay. And
That's
here's one you will remember, Gil. It's Walking Distance with Gig Young.
That one I love. That was
That's where he goes back and meets himself as a child.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, that one.
Talk about somebody who killed himself.
Another
yeah,
guy,
he-
young.
Yeah, he goes back in time, and he sees himself
Yeah.
as a little kid,
Well-
and a great actor there, Frank Overton,
Very
Great actor.
good.
Great actor.
plays his father.
Young Ronnie Howard shows up in that one too.
Oh, that's
Really?
right.
Yeah.
And Frank Overton, he had a great speaking
Frank
voice.
Overton was great. He was a real 60s TV actor.
And he I remember him saying to him, "This isn't your time, Martin.
That's it.
You have to go back. You can share
That's an
your
episode everybody
childhood
remembers.
with this child."
Yeah, everybody. When you talk Twilight Zone, everybody brings that
That's
episode.
a great.
up.
That's
but
a
Gig Young
great-
was great in that.
Yeah.
he was
That's it's a very
great. He was a great actor.
powerful, touching. I love that one.
And he was almost the Frisco kid, the Waco,
Yes, he
the Waco
sure
kid.
was.
I almost said the
Yeah.
Frisco kid.
Sure was.
The Waco kid.
I know.
They
and-
shot. They shot with him, and
right.
he was vomiting.
And said we got to replace him. And,
Yeah.
and Gene Wilder comes right in.
And I
Norman told
bet
us
he
the
would have
story.
been great in that.
You know what? All you can do is go back in time.
Yeah.
I swear to God, because but I don't know. I don't know whether or not something
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
considered great if the original cast, like
Yeah.
I always say, Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, Stallone.
It's
Yeah.
Stallone.
Right.
I don't know whether it would be great. I think The Graduate would have been great with Grodin, but I don't know whether or
Yeah.
not Gig Young.
What
would have
about
been-
Dick Tracy with Gilbert as Mumbles? A better film?
That's hilarious. Well, you lost it to him.
And
That's a tough break.
Yeah.
and
I lost Papillon too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was a tough break because I loved McQueen. McQueen and I got along. We read well together. Fuck Franklin J. Schaffner.
I'd kill to see you in Papillon. Here's a couple of other films.
Wait, hold on, but
Go ahead.
wait. But what I was going to say, and I didn't even think of it, but you know what clued me? And then you sort of referred to it sort of again. A great time travel that nobody would think is time travel.
A feature?
Many times over.
Groundhog
But-
Day.
No, but first, a very well-known novel. Christmas Carol.
Of course.
Oh my God!
You
yes.
said
course.
Scrooge McDuck, and I'm going,
Okay.
Right. There you
oh
go.
my God.
That's a great
and
one.
then you said goes back and sees himself as a kid.
Right.
And then you always see that and you always cry. And then they start dancing and you always go, okay, skip this part, skip this part. But
You know what I love about Christmas Carol, where I think Christmas Carol gets it right, where they fuck up so many times
what?
in other things, where they'll go, like, for instance, they'll say, I'm going to show you what it was like if you had become president.
Right.
And then the next scene, it's like, oh, where am I now? And they go, why, you're the president. I am? And it's like, no. If you're the president, you know you're the president.
Oh,
You ran for president. You know all this. So the only way to do it is to be by being a ghost
self-knowledge.
and observing yourself.
Yes.
Because it wouldn't make sense where, like, a beautiful girl shows up and goes, wait a minute, I married you. Well, if you're married to her, yeah, you know who you're married to.
Right.
So that's why
And
a Christmas
I'll tell you who
Carol-
else. Because, no, all those soldiers died. No, they were killed when your brother wasn't there.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful
Yes.
Life.
Yeah. That does that.
Also
Also does
another-
it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it very
It
well.
really does.
Yeah.
But it's really short. It's really it's a very terse.
Yeah, but there is a time travel element.
But
You
it's
don't think
time
of it.
travel.
You don't think of it off the top of your head as a time travel movie.
Right, but it does.
But it has that element.
Yes, all those
yeah,
boys
well,
died.
But that whole
because your
that whole thing owes so much to Dickens. The whole idea
Well,
of
it's
the angel
Christmas. It's
taking him
Christmas.
back.
It's Christmas
Yes.
Eve, for God's
Yeah.
sake.
And it also, where the druggist is an alcoholic.
Yeah, Mr. Gower.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no, but Mr. Gower, it's my
Yeah.
beer. It's my beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watch it every year.
And Bert and Ernie. And
Yes.
That's
and
right.
that is why they're named Bert and Ernie.
It almost makes you. It fills your heart to the point that you almost forget that Ward Bond was hunting down commies and ruining their lives.
Yes. And he hated the Jews.
Yes, I love talking. Gosh, it brings a tear to my eye bringing up the anti-Semites.
Now,
Ed
Why
Asner,
are you lifting your
Ed
head?
Asner had no love for Ward Bond.
Yes.
now
what?
also in that, most importantly, about It's a Wonderful Life is that one of the characters in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane was named Zuzu Pedals.
Love it. That's really
Really?
that is arcane.
That's fantastic.
I love that.
That's fantastic. You know, were you in that movie?
He
Yes.
was.
So, no, okay, so you saw it, and that's how you know. Okay, I did.
Dustin Hoffman wanted to be in the movie, but they liked my test a lot
love it.
better.
What's your favorite Scrooge movie? Is it the Alistair Sim?
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw the Finney one. Not Finney.
my
think
favorite
the Finney musical's
still
good.
is
Scott.
George C.
Mr.
Scott.
Magoo.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too. I remember that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Mario Cantone didn't like it,
You were-
and he's
Fuck
out of his
him.
mind. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
And now I'm homophobic because of
La
that.
la 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 la.
Oh,
la,
we'll have
la, blank, blankety, blank, blank. No good.
I adore that show. That I really, really do.
Silver and gold.
No, that's from Rudolph.
Okay. There
No,
was
but I can do all the songs. from-
millions of feet walk
And-
through the world, make such a lonely sound.
Is it Bacchus? Did they have the original?
Yes,
Bacchus,
yes.
But and Muscleberry pudding or whatever that. And,
Can we have a Christmas tree with razzleberry dressing?
Mario's going to love this. I'm going to play this for him immediately.
Fuck
The
him.
Finney version's good, actually.
The Finney's
And also the one George C. Scott.
George C. Scott's good.
Then there was Henry Winkler played Scrooge.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, the worst of the remakes.
Okay.
Marlo Thomas.
Oh.
And It's a Wonderful.
Oh, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
There's a room.
I heard that Marlo Thomas, when she was starting work on this,
Right.
she went up to
Capra.
Capra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to Capra and said, "I'm going to be doing a remake of It's a Wonderful Life. Do you have any advice?" And Capra's advice was, don't.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah.
With Orson Welles as Mr. Potter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, who was Clarence? Because it was Clarice.
Yes, it
Oh.
was.
Oh, boy, I've got to.
boy,
Oh,
oh,
this
boy, oh, boy, oh,
delights
boy, oh,
me.
boy, oh, boy.
I am delighted.
Oh, Jesus. I really should know this.
Yeah.
Somebody you wouldn't think of, like Maureen Stapleton. It
That's
was
a
like an
good
older
close guess.
actress.
Well, no, at the time she wasn't that old, but she's respected and great. A really good actress.
Give me a hint.
Warren Beatty called her the best fuck in Hollywood, and there is no second. I've told you that on the show, right?
No.
What?
Yes, you did.
You did?
Oh, I did.
But not
Well,
a-
I wasn't paying attention.
Yes.
But it wasn't Estelle Parsons.
No. No, that is correct. It was not. Nor was it Gene Hackman.
Oh, I know who it is. Yes, because you told us this. Cloris Leachman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Gene
Clarice.
I knew
Right.
Gene Hackman fucked
Yes.
Cloris Leachman.
Yes. I've never seen the
Really?
Marlo Thomas version.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman fucked Cloris Leachman?
Yeah. I think she talked about it in some
Wow.
interview.
We got to get Cloris Leachman on here.
that
Yes.
He fucked
Oh,
her.
she'll be great.
Any connection?
No.
Okay. Well,
No.
It's honest.
No, I don't. I've met her. I've touched her ass. I'm not kidding.
You and Ed Asner.
I'm not. No. But she really worked out all the time, and had a great body, and she was beautiful. And she was a beauty queen, everything like that. But in her 80s, she worked out all the time, and she would take your hand and put it on her butt, and it was
I'll
rock
bet.
hard.
I'll bet.
Yes.
I heard someone had told me they were working on some movie or TV movie with Cloris Leachman and Tony Randall.
Right.
And Tony Randall walked in when Cloris Leachman was sitting there, and he goes, "I bit off her clitoris and she became Cloris. And
Wow. Wow. That was a regular Cole Porter.
If I could only live up to Tony Randall and truly say something witty.
I don't know if
like
we can
that.
top that.
That's fantastic.
Well, we're at the 30-minute mark.
wow. I'll tell you, for a short episode, this wasn't so.
I'll tell you, we could keep going,
just-
but
we just talked
that
and
was
talked and
that
talked.
was fun. That
and
was fun.
we can definitely say this time we didn't scratch the surface.
Yes,
of
we didn't.
Time travel.
We didn't. But well, there's a lot of time travel movies here on the list, and another time we'll talk about them.
All right.
I mean, the whole Planet of the Apes series.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
for one thing. Yeah.
Yes. Or Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
but Groundhog Day. You brought up Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
A very satisfying. One of the
I
greats.
think it's a
one of the
perfect
greats.
film.
I don't because I keep asking questions.
Oh.
He's in a car accident. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And that one, and I buy the movie. Of
Right,
course I
right.
do. But I just scratch my head.
That's
and
interesting.
I go, well, no. He died horrible, horrible deaths. And he wakes up.
Right.
So where did he go? Was it reality? I don't know.
Well, it's a complete fantasy. You have to just go with it or not.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It is a complete fantasy. I see. Oh, I'll look at it again then, in a whole different light.
Before I forget, there was a Twilight Zone, and this one annoyed me. As a lot of the Twilights, I love the Twilight Zone, but every now and then you go, oh, come on. And this was a guy goes back in time to assassinate Hitler.
I remember the chair.
So he checks into a rooming house where his window is right across from where Hitler will be making a speech. He's got his rifle ready, and there's a knock on the door, and it's the maid. And he goes, oh, damn. And he opens the door. Why can't you say, I'm in the shower? Yeah.
Come back in 10
Yeah.
and have some chocolates.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't
So
need
that ruined the whole episode for you.
Yeah. Don't need the room furnished. Thanks anyway.
10 minutes. Gotta kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Killing Hitler. I'll be with you in a second.
Yeah.
You guys are real sticklers for logic in these things. It's fascinating.
You're absolutely right. You have you have hit the nail on the head. I need to be truly convinced. I think Back to the Future does convince me. They tie up all the questions that I scratch my head about time after time. It answers those questions. Some of them don't, and that one I agree with you. Why didn't you? Why
Very
didn't they do it?
interesting.
I know. And yes, Frank, I know they're fantasies. I got to admit, when you brought this up, I said, we're going to talk about fantastical movies.
One Twilight Zone that's the making a deal with the devil
Which is?
or a genie or
Is
something.
it a Jack Klugman one?
This is Lou Adler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he plays like a Jewish pawnbroker.
Lou
Hey.
Adler, the producer of the Mamas and the Papas?
No. What's his name?
No, Stella Adler and...
Lou Ayres?
No.
Stella Adler's brother.
Yeah.
Stella Adler's brother.
Yes. Was
yeah.
it Lou?
No,
No, it's a different Adler, but I know who you mean.
What's his name?
I know who you're talking. Oh, my God. Luther.
Luther Adler.
Adler.
Very nice.
Luther Adler. Oh, well, I knew him, so I called him Lou. And so Luther Adler makes all these wishes, and each one of them has got a bad twist on it. But he still has more wishes to go. So finally, he goes, I want to be the most powerful man in the world. And then the devil goes, okay. And then you see him in a dark room with a little black square mustache on. And Luther Adler, biggest Jew you'll ever meet, in a very dramatic ending goes, oh no, I'm Hitler in the bunker.
We got to do a whole Twilight Zone episode
God.
with you
And I
guys.
thought, on paper, I'm sure
It
that
looked
was
funny.
powerful.
Right.
But when you watch it,
That's so funny.
jaw dropping.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So funny. Drop in any time. Surprise us. This was a nice surprise.
I love being here.
A nice
If
treat.
you can't go have coffee, might as well have microphones.
And your idea about the comedians will make a great future episode. So come by.
Yes.
Come back.
Okay, and I'm not just talking about comedians. I'm talking about actors.
Yeah, Gilbert will love that idea.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the time tonight for it.
All righty.
And this has been, I'm Gilbert Gottfried with my co-host Frank Santopadre. This has been Gilbert and Frank's amazing colossal session. And the annoying Jew in the background who can't stop complaining is Richard Kind.
Thank you, Richard. And thank you to Christopher Kenny for the idea.
Colossal Obsessions.